when you first open Illustrator, you might come with this thing. So when you open Illustrator up, you might come up with this screen, and right now you may have nothing in here because you haven't opened up anything recently and such, or you haven't just started this thing yet. But you do have this menu here. It's a pull down menu as well as create new open options. You could also go in here and select a pre-selected new file, such as for the A4 paper, postcard. If you want to create a web page, you could do that here for your iPhone or creating a video. Okay. What I would suggest you to do is, we're not opening a new file. We're just going to create a, we're not going to open an existing file, which you can go and select anywhere if you had, but instead we are creating a new document. Okay. So if you select that, you will come up with another dialog box. In this dialog box, you get a choice. So you get to do a letter size, custom size, and such. And you get to select the mode, mobile phone, web, print. Since we're going to make a little printout, why don't we select print? Okay, so there it is. And now it gives you a size of what we want. We could always select a tabloid size, which is a 11 by 17, which probably we should select. But also, if you look at the left-hand side corner, or right-hand side of the screen, you will see these options right here. We can also create a custom size or a standard size in this area. First thing we want to do is perhaps change the units to inches. A lot of people can use the points and they understand what the points all mean. It's like how many dots are in a linear or square inch, right? So for our purpose, since we're going to work with a document that is going to be a tabloid size, we'll select inch because we don't know what the tabloid points system is. If you look right here, actually a point is 1,224 points by 792 points is what actually is a tabloid size, but we're going to go by inches. So the width, we'll type in 17, the height, we'll type in 11. Okay? So when we turn our settings to width and height, please note that the orientation has automatically been set to a landscape, right? Because we said width is going to be 17, the height is going to be 11, it automatically clicked here. If you wanted to switch that, you could always go back and this width and height will change for you. But since we want a landscape format, we'll just keep it as that. The artboard section here means that, well, the artboard is basically a virtual paper that Illustrator puts in for you. So you could have as many pieces of paper that's of this 11 by 17 size on the same document workspace as possible, as we put on. And we'll do this. We'll set these a little bit later when we come by. The bleed, we talked about the zero bleed and positive bleed, negative bleed. Basically what that means is that your pictures, or there'll be an extra space beyond the 11 by 17 that lets you that kind of lets you see where you can put your picture, but those area outside will not print. That's basically for when we talked about that grid layout, where publishers, printers, actual printers will print their stuff on a bigger sheet of paper and chop it up into the actual size of the document that you want, right? So basically the picture has to be a little bit bigger. All the waste, or the part that can be sacrificed, is around the edge, and it doesn't matter if that gets cut off or anything. But then when you plan that, you should plan it so that you know that the outside will be trimmed off. Okay, so that one, we'll just keep it at 0. The top, bottom, left, right, we'll just keep it at 0 right now. And the advanced option is the color. If you don't have this on there, you can expand this arrow, and you'll get this mode. The color mode, since it is a print, you want to put it to CMYK. Okay. That stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and K stands for black. RGB is for a screen presentation or website. RGB, if you look at your screen, it is the red, green, and blue pixels that are onto your screen. That's what it is. So you might, for our purpose, since it is going to be a print, we want to set it to a CMYK. I believe the K is for something I forgot. The B is used in the RGB, so we use the K, and the K is basically a printer's check. Okay. The preview mode, just keep it as a default, and that'll be fine. And there are more settings that you can choose. But if you set more setting, it really, I don't know why this is here, because it's not really too much more settings. If you select that, you kind of get this another dialog box, which basically has all the same information. The only thing that I really found was basically this name. The name, you could save the name already if you want, but I don't see why we have to, as we could save it when we log out. Okay, you can choose a template and such, but we'll cancel this out of now. Back where it says raster effects, it says high 300 ppi. What you want to do is to select maybe medium 150, because the medium is going to give you not as a large, it won't take as large space on your computer hard disk, because 300 ppi will take you a lot of disk space. And with most of the printers that we're using, the 300 and 150 doesn't make too much of a difference anyway. You can't really tell. I know that some people want to say that, oh, I'm going to use 600 because that'll give me the best resolution ever. But when you do that, it's going to create a large file, byte size, in your folder. So what we try to do is to minimize the byte size and maximize the actual printout material. So 150 should be enough for all of our presentation. Okay, so try to keep it at the minimum 150. If you use 150 in Illustrator, you might have to set 150 in your Photoshop as well. So when we use a Photoshop program, we will we'll set that as well. So once all of these settings are set, go to the Create and click that, and a little thing would appear, which is basically your artboard.